The last video of spiritual disciplines, we're going to talk about silence and solitude. Now, why the heck would I want to do this? Well, Jesus did it. In fact, there are a lot of times that Jesus would choose not to heal someone so that he could go and get alone with God. Think about the feeding of the 5,000. So after Jesus dismissed the crowd, there were so many people that probably wanted to see him, talk to him, touch him, have him heal them or their children or whatever that might be. He chose, out of so many people, to get away, climb a mountain, and get alone with his Father. Even after he spent a long time being alone with God, and he looks up and he sees his disciples on the boat struggling, he continues to spend time with God, and then he decides, okay, well, I guess now I'll go walk on the water. Just like you and I do all the time. So anyway, next time you read about the feeding of the 5,000, and really everywhere else in the gospel, see if you can notice how many times Jesus got away to get alone with God. Now, if Jesus needed to do that, how much more do we need to do that ourselves? So again, why should we do this? Not only did Jesus do it, but it helps minimize our distractions while we're praying, while we're talking to God, while we worship. Silence and solitude also helps us to be physically and spiritually restored or refreshed. And a lot of times we do it so that we can seek his will. So just like fasting, we can use silence and solitude, maybe even the same moment, to seek God's will. Now, what are some practical suggestions for this? Many of us know about like a quiet time, right? We want to find a place where we don't have distractions and we're going to spend a certain amount of time every morning or wherever it is that you decide, whether it's morning, evening, doesn't matter, to spend time with God. And that's great. We should do that daily. There are also kind of these minute silence and solitudes that you can have where, if you're driving and you're at a traffic light and it's going to be a long light, you just kind of have a moment with God, hopefully with your eyes open in case that light turns green. Walking in between classes or at lunch or whatever it is, just numerous times throughout the day, just taking a pause, being quick to listen, slow to speak, right? And just getting alone with God for 30 seconds to a minute, right? But what I'm going to suggest is that every year you have an extended time with God, 4 hours, 8 hours, a whole day, whatever it may be, and you're thinking, what the heck am I going to do for 4 hours? Well, let me give you an example of a schedule that you may have, and you're going to repeat the schedule 2, 3, 4 times, whatever, however the length of your 4 hours. And I bet that you would find at the end of that 4 hours, you're like, wow, that went by so fast, but I bet you would feel rejuvenated. I bet you would feel closer to God, and I know you will not regret it, and you would want to schedule that every year and make sure it was an annual thing. And if you could do it more often, even better. But one thing we could do is start with worship in a song. So sing your favorite song to God. No one's around. It's just you. You don't have your phone to distract you. And you're just singing to God, your favorite praise song, however long that may be. Some of these might take 5 minutes. Some of these you might do for 30 minutes to an hour. I don't know. But then maybe start with reading the Bible after you sing that song. And spend as much time as you want reading the Bible. And then maybe pray. But maybe if you're tired of sitting down, pray while walking. Find a place that you could walk outside and you can pray as you're walking and you're not in a hurry and you're just talking to God. Maybe journal. Write down the thoughts that are going on, not only in your life, but in that moment. What are you experiencing? What are some struggles that you're having? So write down what's going on in your life, and that will, again, take some time. Maybe read another book. Read a book you've always wanted to read, something other than the Bible, just another kind of spiritually refreshing book that you just haven't gotten to yet. And then meditate on Scripture. And see, if you go through this kind of routine 2 or 3 or 4 times, you repeat that process 2, 3, 4 times, that 4 hours is going to fly by and you will not regret it.